The story about Killi-We Nwachukwu from Oburu Umweze Ogwa, Imo State. Killi-We Nwachukwu was far more than 2 decades celebrated as a homegrown Nigerian superman. Some of his legendary feats of strength included lifting buses, having cement blocks crushed on his head, and allowing cars to drive over his body. According to Philip Emegwali, Superman Killi-We was the strongest man in Nigeria. He said, Killi-We was a superman who was going from place to place to perform. People paid to watch him. I saw him perform at our primary school in those days. I think his real name was Nwachukwu or something like that. I heard that Killi-We was a nickname he got after a fight with a certain man. One commentator said, a great natural superman, Nwachukwu. Killi-We was a nickname he got after a fight with a stubborn man named Stickman, who refused to pay him his money for a truckload of goods he conveyed from the market to the man's house. He used to push a wooden 2-wheel truck with which he carried goods for people. Then, truck vehicles were not around or were not affordable. So, after dropping off the goods, the man would not pay what Nwachukwu charged, claiming it was too high. He tried to walk away and Nwachukwu grabbed him by hand, insisting he must pay. A fight ensued and he pinned the man to the ground. The man's wife ran in and came out with a wooden pestle to assist her husband. Nwachukwu snatched it from her, lifted the woman up and pinned her on top of her husband on the floor. Powerlessly, she started screaming, Killi-We Nwachukwu, Killi-We Nwachukwu, meaning Nwachukwu kill us. In the early 90s, we were asked to pay some money so that he would come and display his power. We gladly paid the money. On the day of his assumed coming, we waited. We couldn't see him, so we left. The following day in school, some students that were patient enough narrated how he came, how he carried 4 students on each of his hand, and how he had so many acrobatic power. It was like a hell to me that I didn't wait to see this man. He is real, said by another commentator, and yet another. He existed back in the 80s. He came to our school. We paid 50 kobo to watch him. He carried 10 bags of cement on his stomach and towed a 504 Peugeot SR with a rope on his teeth. Stories had it that when he died, his body was deposited in Aladima mortuary. He, in the night, will carry all other corpses and stretch himself on them. He continued this till he was rejected by the morgue. I remember hearing stories about giant Alakuku as a child, but I don't recall ever seeing him. But I do remember Killi-We. He was a fat dude and used to tour the country performing stunts, like grabbing cars by the bumper and preventing it from moving as someone stepped on the pedal. I also remember a 7/7 song about Killi-We. It says, Killi-We Nwachukwu, I beg make you help me carry my load. Great Ibe Abuchi alias Pastor Killer of Ngodo Isochi, the Lion of Africa, who was a great superman also, contested and won the mighty Killi-We Nwachukwu in the 60s.